So I'm trying something different. I want to do a list video. I'm gonna do my personal top 3 favorite female comic book characters. Um, I'm biased, obviously. There's a lot of characters out there that I don't know, so but these are my 3 favorite that are on here basically because I connected with them in childhood. So, number 3 is Rogue. And Rogue, I first encountered her in the X-Men animated series that used to come on TV. I loved her. I thought she was great. She was like super strong. She could fly. This was before that I knew about that she had gotten her powers from Miss Marvel. It was before I knew about that. I just thought it was her powers. Anyway, I thought she was awesome. And then when I was little, you could still get comic books in the grocery store. So I would start seeing comic books at the grocery store, with X-Men that would have like Rogue on them, or even like actual Rogue comics. And I would get those. So I had a few of those. I actually had the X-Men comic that has Rogue and Gambit on the cover, kissing. And of course, if you know anything about Rogue, like her main power is absorbing other people's energy or power or life force. And that's part of the reason it was such a tragic relationship, because they couldn't touch each other. And the movies, I like the X-Men movies, don't get me wrong, but I do not like the portrayal of Rogue in those movies. I feel like Rogue has more attitude, based on like comics and the actual animated series, and I feel like she is just more outspoken and not so shy, and not the way she's portrayed in the movies. So, my number two favorite female comic book character is Elektra. And first of all, let me say I hated the movie. I absolutely hated the movie. Electra is supposed to be of Greek descent. She's supposed to be an absolute badass. I don't really see Jennifer Garner as Electra with the dimples and the kind of goody two shoes image. That to me just was not Electra. So I hated that movie. Thought everything about the casting and the portrayal was wrong. I did like the casting they used for the Daredevil Netflix series, but again, I wasn't 100% on board with the character portrayal. But the actress looked amazing for what I thought Electra should look like. My first experience with her was actually in a Wolverine comic. I had bought a Wolverine comic, and it was after Wolverine had gone feral because Magneto had stripped the adamantium from his bones. So Elektra was basically trying to re-civilize him, and she wasn't very nice about it. She kind of kicked his ass a few times. It was pretty funny. So yeah, I had the Wolverine comic, and I've lost a lot of my comics. They actually got rained on. I'm very sad about that. A moment of silence for my lost, drenched, drowned comics that I can never get back. Sad face. So I know Elektra was in a lot of the Daredevil comics, but I never actually read the Daredevil comics. Like I said, my first exposure to her was with a Wolverine comic, and then I branched out into some of the actual Elektra comics, and I did have the very first one that was ever published. I got it out of a grocery store. It was basically those comics that allowed me to understand more about Elektra as a character and go into her past with Bullseye and like her training and stuff, rather than the Daredevil comics. So, and my number 1 favorite female comic book character, I actually didn't get anything about her from comics. I was solely introduced to her through a video game called X-Men 2: The Clone Wars. And one of the characters you could play on there was Psylocke. So she's my favorite just because like I was crazy about that game and crazy about her. I always wanted to play with her. She had these little psychic blasts that would come out of her hand, and she was pretty awesome with a katana. She's a master ninja, and that was super awesome to me. And her outfit was purple, and it was like the deep dark purple that I like the most. So she was definitely my favorite. I didn't find out about her interaction in like the Marvel universe until much later. It was mostly from internet research, and also I had Marvel used to have these collectible cards put out by Fleer, like little collection cards. Sometimes they'd be like foil cards and stuff. Some people collected like baseball cards and stuff. I collected Marvel Fleer cards. So I would get packs and they would have characters in them that I didn't really know who they were. And then I would research and I would find out, or the card would tell me something about them. And I had a couple of Psylocke cards. Actually had a Revenge card too, and that's how I found out about their interaction. But yeah, so that's my top 3 list. I would love for people to put their own favorites in the comments, because I really want to like read comments and stuff, but nobody really leaves many comments yet because my channel's very, very tiny. Yeah, this is my experimental list video. We shall see how it does, and maybe I will do more.